right, guys. Today, as you guys know, is Thursday, April 11th. We are all set to dive into this day, and we could see that FTFT is the big winner of today. It's currently up 187%. Now, I think FTFT has a lot of potential still. I really do. Now, this was my first loss on my small account challenge. I lost $437. Why? As you guys can see right here, here's my P&L from TD Ameritrade. You guys see I got in at 224, 225. I got out at a horrible price, all the way down to 201, 1,800 shares. It led to a $437 loss, which is just, not good, right? Because that is taking away all my gains that I've made so far, right? And that is actually putting me in the negative from where I started. So I'm down about $300 from where I started. Now, is that, ruining everything? No, right? Just I have to work my way out of that. And now how am I going to work my way out of that? It could honestly be one trade. It could be two trades of, $150 each. But most likely on my next, 1-2 couple trades, I am going to probably be, really conservative, and I'm probably going to be locking in my profits, really quickly as well. So, I just want to start off the video and start off the recap by obviously telling you guys, that I did take a loss today. I always want to be open, honest, transparent, and that's something that I will always do. I know there's a lot of, mentors out there that don't ever show any sort of P&L, don't even have any sort of credibility, and I'm going to be showing you guys every single statement from my broker whenever I trade. Now, with that being said, why did I choose FTFT today? Why did I choose FTFT today? What was so great about that one? Well, the big money making was in pre-market, which is not anything surprising. How often do I say that? The big money making was in pre-market, where this thing went from 92 cents all the way up towards around 260. Woo! That is a spike and a half right there, guys, right? That stock was all the way up at over 200% this morning, where we went from 80 cents all the way up to hitting highs up towards around that 260 mark. It was a beautiful spike, a beautiful rip, a beautiful run. Now, with that being said, I really didn't have like the biggest press release in the world, right? If we look right here, we can see FTFT came out, which announces the establishment of the new subsidiary to expand its logistics network of chain cloud mall business. So it's just expanding its business. It's not saying, we have treatment for this, rare disease. We don't have any sort of positive phase 3 trials. We don't have any sort of anything along these lines that is amazing. We're just saying, hey, we're expanding our, cloud chain mall business. And with that being said, what happened though? This stock just took on off. This just went on a rip and a run. This just, really spiked very hard and really started taking on off. We saw a lot of big volume move in right around 9 o'clock, right? We see that happen a lot as well, where we see a lot of big volume, we see a lot of big attention, we see a lot of big hype move through at what time? Right around that 9 o'clock mark. So make sure you guys always watch that at pre-market. Find the #1 top gainer in pre-market, and then watch around 9 o'clock. Because at 9 o'clock is where you guys are going to start seeing a little bit more activity. You guys are going to see, possible spikes or a possible big crack. Now, why would you see a possible spike or a possible big crack at 9 o'clock? What's the significance behind that? Is because there are a lot of brokers that open up right at 9 o'clock. So, Robinhood, that's a big broker that a lot of people use. I personally don't use that. I'm not a huge fan of them. But with that being said, a lot of people do use Robinhood, and they open up at 9 o'clock. So, a lot of people will be like, oh, wow, FTFT, I want to buy in on that. Oh, I can't buy till 9 o'clock. What happens? They all open up at 9 o'clock. Everyone buys in at once, and it keeps going on up. So it is good to try to catch these plays as early as possible. This play started coming out at what time? 8:27 a.m. And again, this is all Eastern time, New York time. So 8:27 a.m. That is when this stock came out with its press release and started going on a nice rip and run. So where did I get in? How did I take a loss on this play? Why did I get in? Well, I was simply looking for one of our go-to U-shaped breakout patterns, right? So FTFT, if we want to look at this pattern right here, what can we see? We can, definitely see in a clear-cut manner that we have a very nice U-shaped pattern right here. We have a U-shaped pattern, and it's looking to come on up and get what? The nice big breakout. I want to see this breakout. And when we have a U-shaped pattern, what do I teach you guys? So I'm just trying to redraw this one a little bit. All right, kind of looks, just like that. Now, with this being said, what do we have out of the U-shape? We have our A wall, right? We have our B wall, and we have our C wall. Then we also have the D, which would be the breakout area, right? And the D would be basically our top resistance mark that we're trying to break out of. So where did I buy in on this play? I bought in on this play on the C wall. all right, which is the area that I usually like buying in on this, right? And that's going to be at the price right at 225 right here. So I bought it on the seawall. Now, why do I like buying it on the seawall? Because usually we'll at least spike back up to this area right here, which is the high of the day, which is right around 250. So if I'm in at 225 and it runs up to 250, let's say right here, hey, that's 25 cents in profit. I'm going to be up a good amount of money, right? I'm going to be up, $300, $400, $500 already. So with that being said, I'm saying to myself, all right, 225 is not a bad entry. We have our U-shaped pattern set up. I'm getting in on a little bit of an earlier area. And with that being said, I think I can sell this up towards around 250 or even plus that. So that was my game plan on this. Now, with that being said, what happened? It popped up to like 230 for a second, and then it started coming back on down. So my game plan was for a U-shaped breakout pattern up to 250, up to at least these old highs, maybe lock in half and then let the other half run out. With that being said, what did happen, it went up to about 35, came back on down, and then it came back down on a strong red candle. I didn't get out till $2. I got out on a horrible entry. Now, it did go all the way down towards 180, and if I kept on holding, I would have lost, about $1,000 if it, kept on going down, 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 all the way down towards around the 180 mark, and that's just not what I'm willing to lose. I'm not willing to lose $1,000 on my small account challenge. Again, what I want to always lose, if I lose, not what I always want to, but if I have to take a loss, is going to be less than $200. In this case, what happened? In this case, it went all the way down to 400. So that was my number one error I believe I made today. My number one error is that I let my loss get too big with $437 because that wiped away my gains that I made, right? That wiped away my gains. So obviously that's always tough to accept that. I was trading the last two times, went two for two, one trade wiped them away. That's why we need to keep our stop losses tight, right? That's why we need to always say to ourselves, hey, well, we're down $200, we got to get out, right? We're down $200, we got to move on, right? Now, what is FTFT doing right now? FTFT is doing exactly what I wanted to right here. So again, it's a little bit heart-wrenching, isn't it? It's a little bit gut-wrenching right here that this is what I was looking for, only here. So this is exactly what I was looking for. What time is it, guys? 11 o'clock. We're getting the 11 o'clock breakout. And again, I wanted it right here at what time? 10 o'clock. So FTFT, I'm happy, as you guys can see, that this play is able to continue to move on up. This play is continuing to go on a nice big spike right here. But FTFT, what I wanted it was going to be on the U-shaped pattern. So I'm super pumped, super happy for all the traders that are making in some nice big, nice big profit right here. Absolutely enjoy that, guys. There's a lot of profits over in Profits Chat because a lot of people also bought in at the 180 mark, which is an area that I told you guys about that was going to be holding up as support. And if we look at that, we could look at the 2 to 3 minute time frame right here, look at pre-market, and we could see high right here, resistance, high right here, resistance, high right here, resistance, bounce play, a little consolidation, then break out. Look how nice that 180 support line is. So 180 has been an awesome support line, either all the way back up to around that 240 mark to start with, another bounce play, and where now it's all the way up towards around that 260 mark, where now it's kind of on like this big U-shaped pattern. So am I upset about today? I'm upset, of course. I lost money, right? It's never, exciting thing. I'm never like, yes, $400 down the drain, exactly what I wanted. Obviously, it's not that. But what I'm happy about is that I was on the right track. FTFT spiking right now. This is the play I wanted. Only exactly about 1 hour ago, I went after a U-shaped pattern. I did buy in for a C-wall breakout up towards around the 250 mark, which is what I wanted to see. My number one issue, my number one con today is I locked in my loss a little too late. I should have locked it in a little bit quicker. And what I'm happy about, though, is I didn't chase. Right, I didn't chase the spike. I didn't chase that massive run in pre-market. I waited till it was a little bit lower. I should have probably got in around the 180 mark, 195. Then that would have been an easy solution to me to be able to make money. So I have to be a little bit more confident in my bounce plays. But again, at the end of the day, what does it come to? You could say what you did right, what you did wrong, but at the end of the day, I'm down $437. At the end of the day, I need to say to myself, okay, that's what has happened. Now, how can I improve on that? Simple as that. So, FTFT right here, continuing to move on up. This is a very nice channel play, which has, gotten a nice breakout so far. We'll see if it's going to be able to continue to hold, continue to move. That being said, GLG also had a beautiful channel breakout pattern. just like here. We have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, got the nice breakout, ran up to $4. It is falling back into its channel right now, so it is getting a little bit light, but we could see we have multiple channel breakout patterns, right? We have GLG channel breakout pattern, FTFT right here getting that channel breakout pattern. FTFT also setting itself up in what right now? Little bit of a bull flag pattern, right? So FTFT right now is setting itself up in a little bit of this bull flag pattern where this is possibly going to be getting a nice rip and run, coming on up. So bounce entry would be all the way back down towards around 240, right? So it'd be back down towards around 240. Bull flag starting to get a little bit, out of shape right here, but nice channel breakout, good volume moving in at what time? Right around 11 o'clock. Right. So FTFT, great play. GLG, also a nice channel breakout pattern right here. This stock came out with a press release talking about an agreement this morning. So we have a strategic cooperation agreement with Litton Group Company Ltd. Right, and the CEO says, we're pleased to partner with this company, yada yada yada. All you got to look for is we are pleased to partner with this company. We have an agreement. Keyword to look for in a hot press release. Sets itself up in a nice channel after going on a nice spike. GLG 5 million in float. All things that you guys already know of. And that's why that play went on a nice rip and run. At the end of the day, I am down $430. That brings my total of my small account right now. Started with 4,000, and my total right now is going to be at 3,684. So I'm down about 200. Down about no, actually, I'm down about $316. So $316 is where I'm currently down on my small account. Now, with that being said, is that ruining the rest of the small account? Absolutely not. $316, guys. I was up 175 at the most on this trade today. And probably my next 2 trades, I'm either going to try to make it all back at once, $316, or it's going to be probably 150, and then bada boom, we're right back to even where we started. So, the hardest part, I will say this, the hardest part of the small account challenge is getting out of the small account, right? Once you cross over $10,000, $15,000, you're pretty in the clear. The hardest part is getting out of the small account. And once you get out of the small account, you can do it a lot easier. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say stock trading is easy. I'm not going to be one of those people that says, oh, once you get above 10,000, it's going to be easy, sailing. It's not still. It's still going to be difficult. But the hardest part of the small account is the actual small account. So, once we get over that, we're all good to go. So I'm down currently about $300 on my small account challenge. But with that being said, I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm positive. I'm ready to rock and roll for my next trade. Next trade is going to be probably Monday morning because my funds settle tomorrow, and then we'll be all set, ready to go. So again, awesome job today. Congrats to all the traders who profited. You guys have been killing it, and I'm so happy for you guys. That have been doing so well, who got in at 180, who maybe got in on this channel breakout pattern, who were able to lock in profits a little bit quicker, who locked in their loss maybe a little bit smaller. But I would rather be a mentor and for you guys to learn from my examples, for you guys to learn from my mistakes, and for you guys to learn from my wins as well, right? And I just always want to be the most transparent person I can be. Awesome job. Great. I wanted to show you guys absolutely everything today, and let's get fired up for that next trade.